Hi guys, welcome to another episode of SCN. On today's show, we're going to be talking about managing your expectations in terms of how long it's going to take you to sell that car of yours. And to end off with, as always, we've got a couple of videos highlighting just what really good timing is all about. Now, in the last couple of weeks, we've been focusing really hard on marketing and selling that used car of yours. We've talked about advertising it effectively in terms of taking the right pictures. We've talked about reconditioning your car, and we've talked about pricing your car. And this show we're going to talk about today encompasses all of that. And what I'm talking about today is, again, managing your expectations in terms of how long it's going to take you to sell that car of yours. Now, there's a lot of factors you can control when it comes to selling your car, and there are some factors that you can't. The kind of things that are going to be able to be controlled by you are the uniqueness of your car, the quality of your car, the cost-effective pricing of your car, and the marketing and advertising. So when we're talking about uniqueness, what we mean is how many cars similar to yours there are on the market. The more there are similar to yours, clearly the longer it's going to take you to sell your car unless it's priced effectively. So pricing your car effectively, as we've talked about numerous times, becomes critical at this particular point. The quality of your car, what I mean by that is just how ready for retail sale is it? Has all the reconditioning been done? Can a man come and pay you today and drive away in the car without having to spend a penny on it? These are things you need to take into account. Now, the perfect scenario, in the ideal world, you would imagine you advertise your car on a Monday, you get a call on a Monday, a guy comes to your house on a Monday, looks at the car and decides he's going to buy it and wants to pay you pretty much straight away. Now, that very, very seldom happens. And normally when it does happen, people tend to think that they've priced their cars too cheaply. Don't always think that. Maybe it's just because of the effective advertising. But even working on an ideal scenario, that transaction's still going to take you realistically 4 or 5 days, 4 or 5 working days. The guy comes over on day one, has a look at the car, test drives it, has no problem with the car. You do a deal on price. You've now got to do a couple of things. You're going to have to roadworthy that car. As a responsible seller, the roadworthy is going to be up to you. So at that point, you might want to take the car for roadworthy. There's going to be a change of ownership. He's going to want to pay you, but there's going to be a bit of a Mexican standoff in terms of when he pays you and as to when he gets the car. And again, we've talked about a company called Motorfin. These are the guys who will get involved in your transaction at this point and guarantee the money you're going to receive will be paid to you, and also guarantee to the buyer that any money he pays over will be paid to the seller once the car is ready for delivery. But that's the ideal scenario, a car transacting on in a week. What's more typical is people get their cars advertised, they advertise it on a Monday, same kind of scenario. They might take a call or two during the course of that week, maybe 3 or 4 if they've done a really good selling job on it. By week 2, guys are coming to look at the car. So you're already into week 2, manage your expectations here. You're into week 2, 3 or 4 guys will come and have a look at your car. You'll do a deal with one of those potential buyers, and then the same process is going to take place. You're going to have to get the car roadworthied. You're going to have to look at change of ownerships. You're going to go through the motions of getting the money. You're going to decide how you're going to get paid. So all of that has to be taken into account. But realistically then, you're stretching out a deal. It might take you 10 days. It might take you 14 days. But manage your expectations. And again, I keep saying that for this very reason. Don't be disappointed. These things are going to take time. The scenario that's most likely to happen, and this is what I find going on most of the time, people get very excited about advertising their cars. They get onto Surf4Cars, they load them up immediately, and off they go. Now, the problem is normally this. You haven't done the due diligence on the car. It's not ready for retail sale. You haven't sent it to somewhere like Decra where the guys can properly inspect the car for you. Because what's important about that is the buyer coming to look at the car wants to see what kind of mechanical condition the car is in. So now you really need to have done that up front. But like most people, you're not. You're going to wait for somebody to come and have a look at your car. You're then going to go through the motions of having the car DECRA inspected. Now, what might come out of a DECRA inspection is it may need a tire, may need a windscreen, it might have an oil leak. So all of these issues are going to have to be addressed before any real buyer is going to come back and carry on transacting with you on that car. So you've started the process. You've now had to stop the process to go and get the car DECRA inspected. You've now had to take it to a workshop. You've had to put a tire on. You've had to replace a windscreen. This is going to slow the process down. And this process is going to be driven by you. So you need to take time off work. You need to take the car to a workshop. This is going to slow the whole transaction down. But now you run the risk of losing a potential buyer on the car. The guy's hot to trot. He's looked at the car. He wants to transact with you. But because you haven't done your homework up front, because you haven't gone and got that car DECRA inspected, before you're ready to sell it, this is now going to stall the process. This is not what you want to happen, but unfortunately, this is what happens in most of these scenarios. So this is going to drag your 1 week transaction into 2, sometimes 3, possibly 4. But again, this is the real world, and I understand most people only really want to spend money on their car if they have found somebody that they believe is going to buy the car. You don't want to commit to a spend until you've got somebody who's quite committed to wanting to buy your car. You shouldn't do that. It will make the process a hell of a lot longer. So again, manage your expectations when it comes to selling your car. Understand there are certain events will slow down the transaction process, but try and take care of them all before you get your car advertised for retail sale. Now it's all about timing, and talking about timing, check out some of these lucky guys. See what I mean about timing? How's that for some near misses? Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button and check out the original videos on the links below. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Nick, it's been real. We'll see you soon.
Surf4Cars.